Definitely. Have you seen refrigerators from back then?
Exact. Still running. Mine's like 3 years old and it's already got a knock.
Go ahead, Imp.
Hey, I just got to say that was hilarious. You clipped him up, I hope. I'm sure you guys did. Um, and then I wanted to bring up something that Brian had spoke about his space earlier, I guess yesterday. What a G for hanging out this long. He had mentioned coming up with an equation correlating the pressure with the depth of the ocean, correlating that with the going up to the atmosphere, trying to you know come up with the height of a firmament. If he wanted to explain that, if he hasn't already, and I just missed it on this, I thought that was really interesting, and I would like to hear about maybe someone had some thoughts that hasn't heard it on here.
Do I remember him explaining that? I don't know.
It was in his space yesterday.
Yeah, it was in his space.
Yeah, I was there with you guys for that. It was an interesting thing. I don't know if I think you probably can do that. It's math, right? You get the readings and then you just do some math. You should be able to. But then again, like how high is he talking about going up? Because once we get to a certain point, we don't really have the data, do we?
Yeah, that's the whole premise I think he was getting at, was that we could compare the 7.8 miles down that we've got the data on for the pressure of the ocean, and then correlate that with the pressure as you ascend in the atmosphere, and come up with some equation to propose the height of the firmament. That's my understanding, but yeah, I lack information sometimes.
Personally, I don't think we're gonna figure out anything about any kind of firmament until we either fly over Antarctica or fly straight up without the help of any government agencies.
Yeah, for sure. No evidence that the authority sheeple will accept anyway.
Yeah.
What about giving a prediction on how much the facade, or how much longer the facade will last, given this movement, the growth of the internet, and everything in between?
Well, the growth of
What
the
you guys have?
internet, I know a lot of people think like the internet is like a permanent thing, and in one aspect it is, but I mean, the owners of all of these things could literally put the kibosh on the vast majority of it really, really quickly. And whoever controls the endpoints controls it all. So that stuff is not within uh, the individual's capacity to maintain.
So this is totally. I can't think of the word, but this is just my thought. My intuition is that the internet can't be controlled. There is no central entity. That's why it's a decentralized technology, and that's why it spawns all these other decentralized technologies that give the power back to the people from these centralized entities.
Yeah.
And that's why I have this intuition that it is divine from our creator. It spreads ultimate truth, and as it becomes more and more pervasive, I know I've said this before, but that's why, like, I have this feeling there is no central owner. They can try and stop it, but my intuition is that the genie has been let out of the bottle, and that's what I'm going to project my reality, because
That's cool.
It rings true. Yeah, it rings true to me.
I
So
I would only challenge it on in the event like the way you're looking at it is as long as it's operational, and open. Like for example, in North Korea, I highly doubt you can find certain things. I highly doubt you can network the way we network in America. I've lived in China. I know they can't access certain things unless they're familiar with VPNs, and then VPNs also get shut down as well. So there's definitely ways to box you in, even currently, unless you're like
yeah,
on the low level hacker level and low level networking level to where you know how to reach out to people around the globe. Um, and then that's with it fully operational. So all I'm saying is like if there was ever a an attack or an intentional um, shutting down of certain areas of all these cables that we have that are transferring all this data, that would be my only pushback. But I don't see that happening either. So I'm right with you. I feel like now that it's as long as it's fully operational, bro, there's no way they're gonna be able to stop everything. We'll find a way.
yeah, yeah. I agree with some points. I would just have to say that, like, first of all, if they could stop it, they definitely would have already. Especially if you believe this truth that's coming out with the powers that be being, you know, um, the real mafia, the real Jewish mafia, whatever that term is. Um, the ones that currently are running the show, um, they would have shut it down if they could have already because of what is happening. That's kind of what I think about. And then if you look at, yeah, North Korea, China, they stifle the spread of information as much as they can. But I would say as time progresses, the pervasiveness of the internet is unstoppable. So it'd be interesting to get like some numbers of how much they're able to stifle the internet over time. I think it's less and less. Um,
Yeah, I
so as
agree.
it grows, it's going to be.
I agree.
I
Assuming it's
just.
operational, I agree. Yeah.
I,
What do you say to the powers that be if they could shut it down or make it non-operational? Don't you think they would have already done that?
I don't think
I don't
there's.
know. I think it's a great propaganda tool. And who I don't. For me, I think if I was like an elite running the world, I would look at it as a positive negative. The benefit, versus the other way. It's just I think it's still beneficial to everyone. So even to them,
You think I disagree. I think it's a net negative for them, for the powers that be, if they were to look at, the positive versus negative. It is a very, you know, highly weighed negative compared. That's just my thought.
yeah, cool.
I don't think they need to shut it down. I think that the few people that are looking for the truth and find the truth that is released out there um, can't get it to the masses, and the masses that do get it don't believe it, and you're a conspiracy theorist. And if you do release too much of it, they just quash you and smash you and make you look like a maniac, especially if you're anybody of means, anybody that was part of their system that decides to flip and come out. They just smash you and make you look like a madman.
Yeah, that could be true. That definitely could be true. But I would like to know, what do you think, as the internet becomes more and more available, has this movement grown, as opposed to like the number of people that actually think about the realm that we live on? Do you think more people are questioning it now that the internet has spread, as opposed to before the internet was in existence?
Just to think that being an American, we're like 4.3% of the world population. So even if we believed it all, if we got every American to believe it all and a few people around the world, we're still such a small percentage. Um, I think the most of the bootlickers just go along, typical of the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, or any of these things, typically only about 3% of the people stand up and fight for what they believe in, and most people just go along with the whatever boat ride is there.
Okay, so if that is true, which I'm not disagreeing with, um, don't you think the internet is a net positive for these 3% that are awake because now we can connect
Absolutely.
and potentially.
Absolutely. This is like, I just signed up
Mhm.
for this. It's the only social media I got. This is so I'll be 45 years old pretty soon. This is something, my family and I have kind of gone down this rabbit hole for a long period of time, and you just kind of keep it to yourself and try not to look crazy. And I don't have enough information, as I've heard from you guys, to sound intelligent enough to argue this point with somebody. And so to get on here and talk with you guys and listen to you talk, this is proof it's a net positive.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, excellent.
Hey, Steve, what up?
Um,
What's up, D3?
What took
Sacred,
on, man?
sacred, proud. I'm relieved that y'all guys are still here. I've it took me some time to come back around and talk to you guys. But I'm glad to see and hear you again. Um, you y'all guys are beacons of light. I want y'all to understand that. Um, y'all have assisted many of us to find ways not only to come together, but to find ourselves even more. As being the very strong leaders of an awakening that's building a lot of momentum. And I'm hoping many of you are witnessing this momentum. It's pretty miraculous to be an observant of and to see it as these discussions in recent days have escalated and and evolved in the most, I don't know, it's hard to find so many good words to describe it, but spiritually, it's been so active in trying to discuss more than just the material realm. I mean, yes, we have to assess what this realm consists of. And, earlier Taylor was on, and I wanted to, jump on and confirm with her several months ago. She had brought up the possibility of, of there being sodium in the sky. And I wanted to confirm that with her that she is absolutely correct. I shared a post back then, but I don't know if she saw it, but I wanted to confirm that yes, there are multiple layers to the sky, the ocean sky above us. And that's exactly what it is, an ocean sky. And it consists of different sorts of sodium, as above, so below, right? So that's the very unique aspect of our nature. And most importantly, in order for us to understand our realm or understand the realm that we live within, we have to know ourselves and our body, what it consists of, how it works. They are mirror reflections of each other. And it's truly insightful to come to that realization and knowledge when we learn more about ourselves so we can know more about the world, the true earth, the heart that we live within, and the ether that bonds all of this together. But I wanted y'all two guys to know what amazing beacons of light you two are to curate these conversations that need to be had. And I love how they evolve in so many different ways. It can begin with the physics of it all, which should be common sense to everyone if they would just come to that realization internally on exactly what they've been, what's happened, how they've been led astray. Y'all were just discussing the options of the internet. I mean, the people that are in control right now, that control is an obsession. It's an addiction. It's a power that they're not going to let go lightly, and it's used against us. And it's more importantly to just grasp what's happening while we have this ability to communicate with each other. Like I said, the momentum that's escalating, these conversations that we're having, we must fully grasp, take advantage, hear each other's voice, and come to the realization of what words we share, the breath that we have to strengthen our abilities to come to this realization of the system of one that we live within is very real, and it's far past just our material aspect. So in our walks, in our paths, our light shines on so much as we have been affected by someone else's light as well. And every now and then when the light goes out, it turns on again, something else. We evolve, we continue, but it's important to know the connection of our communication to make our lights brighter. And going back to the mineralization, the physical aspect of this realm, that salt, just as salt absorbs water, it's the reflection of the attraction of how this mineral absorbs or attracts water as it does. And water being so symbolic spiritually, it is a true reflection of our reality, of us being physical and spiritual. So just wanted to say that, guys. Love y'all. So happy to see y'all here and everyone else. Thank y'all.
If I could respond to the sodium part of that, like I said, I'm new to this, and this may be off, but as far as our bodies, my wife is a cardiac nurse. We are salt batteries. You know, we are electrical beings, and so there is something super healthy I take every day. It's called Baja Gold mineral salt. I mix it with my water. You can't hydrate without that salt. You could look up some Red Mills baking soda and read about the benefits of that for your body. I train 5 days a week. I've been into training in martial arts my whole life and central health and training my family. And but that Baja Gold salt, it's got all the minerals you need. That Red Mills organic baking soda. I know this is kind of off the flat Earth deal, but I think it has to do with us and making energy and being beings of light and being healthy in general. And so don't be scared of natural fats and don't be scared of salt.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. I might check that out myself.
100% Amante. And we do have these conversations regularly. One of the highlights of the week is called Wellness Wednesday, where we go over this thoroughly in detail about the importance of our health, why we need to maintain it, because our mind makes and creates our reality.
Absolutely. And if y'all are interested, I could run in the house and take a picture of those two products and post it in the chat below.
Hey, speaking of reality, we got somebody.
Yeah, please do, Monte. Go ahead, do my bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I was just saying, please do it, Monte. I would like to see that. If you could step away for a second and grab that. That'll be dope.
Facts.
Hey, D3, I don't know if you recall when we were sharing thoughts in a post uh, some time ago where I was showing that NASA uh, does a lot of a lot of the observatories and a lot of the studies that even branches of NASA with different organizations, when they're always observing the sky, that's one of the main points that they're looking at. They're observing the mesosphere and the different layers in our ocean sky and the different levels of sodium content. Um,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, man. And so they're definitely aware of it. They're just going to word it differently and completely twist the true nature of it. But yeah, our bodies are completely made of different variants of sodium, the sodium phosphate, sodium sulfate, iron. There are many different levels that are going on. And just as our physical self is multi-tiered, that also equals to our spiritual self, which is multi-tiered. And it works the same. The way our bodies work is exactly how Earth works. That's why it's imperative we know what this Earth realm is, how it works. And the best way to find out is within ourselves.
Well,
I,
we have a multi-tiered glober on stage right now with his hand up.
I just posted that picture for y'all. And then
Sweet.
him speaking of that iron, I would highly suggest it in your supplements to take like a desiccated grass fed beef liver pill. It's highly absorbable and it has a lot of natural heme iron in it. My wife, I know a lot of women are low on iron just from the cycles they go through, and those that changed her life. That heme iron and those desiccated liver pills are a fantastic supplement.
A side note on that, the main reason the beef has iron is because they ate the plants. It originally starts in the soil in our plants.
Yes, also with them being pre-digested by the bovine already, it's readily absorbable for our body and makes it that much easier.
Man, Lamonte been dropping on us since he been in here for the first time. That's what's up, man. Appreciate that, bro.
Absolutely. Like I said, I train pretty much nonstop, and so if anybody helps needs help with like real weight loss and needs to know anything about that, I'm here. I'm training a couple guys right now from my cigar lounge. One of the guys is down 130 pounds. The other guy, we got another 100 to go.
Man, my man keeping it moving. I like it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Keon, what up, man? Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Sacred? Thanks for the mic, and thanks to you as well, Proud. What's up, D3?
What a go
And
on?
everyone
You
else.
made it just in time, bro. We was just about to shut it down.
Okay, yeah. I had a few things to say. Uh, First thing first, I think I like the fact that you guys are sort of diversifying the topic a little bit. So I think that's a good move. Um, I wanted to comment on what Taylor said earlier. She's not here anymore, but I'll say it anyway. She was talking about the firmament and how it's mentioned in the Bible. Yes, that's true, but the Bible also says other things, like the Word was created 6,000 years ago. Like there's one God, which is not true. You know, by now we know that. So we can't take the Bible as like absolute truth. Whatever is written in there. Um, And the other thing is, I think Amphibious, it was talking about how how NASA is going to evolve over the years. Um, if we do survive, if we don't get World War III or some cataclysmic event or some pandemics or whatever, I guess all the people in here, we would see the big finale, right? Like at some point in time, they will reach Mars, right, or the moon. So I guess it's a question of time, and we see how this this big facade is going to evolve.
Hey, Keon,
Yeah,
we
I
still
never.
going to Mars, Keon?
Well, I don't know. Elon will tell us.
Facts, facts. We're waiting.
I never referred to the growth of NASA. By the way, it was just the growth of the internet.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the facade, like the NASA big facade that they're trying to portray to us.
Yeah, yeah, the facade of heliocentric model. Like, anyone have a guess on how much longer it's going to last?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Elon is talking about within 10 years, so we'll find out.
Hey, do you think they'll do some I don't want to call it alien invasion propaganda, but I guess that's really the only name for it. Do you think they'll do anything like that in the future?
Project Bluebeam.
Well, they're talking about it right now. I do research in this topic. Like I've been doing research in the topic.
Hmm.
They're talking about it right now, and some of of the American intelligence officers they're coming out and talking about this topic. So it's very likely they're
Mm,
gonna present to us something.
interesting.
That'd be the last card that's played.
Hey, Sacred. I followed you and a couple other folks, so that health space you were talking about, it'll just pop up on my phone if I'm on here.
Actually, that's Brian's space. So as long as you following Brian, and put post notice on, it should notify you.
Hey, Amante, I responded to your post, your image of a link for that space.
Awesome. I appreciate you.
I want to ask something. So, I said earlier there's no one God in the Bible. Does anybody disagree with that?
Man, you want to smoke for Taylor when she not here, boy? Stop it.
I'm sure there's some people in here who disagree with you, bro.
They'll make a distinction between like God uppercase G and God's lowercase.
I don't know enough about it, so I wouldn't mind if you touched on the topic anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, we all know that the God of the Bible is Yahweh, right? But there are other gods that the Bible also names, but for some reason we don't talk about them. You know. So basically, Yahweh is part of a pantheon of gods. That's what we're talking about. But for the Christians would never talk about. They would never deal with this topic.
I think some will.
Oh God, bro, you gonna force me to go get Taylor, bro?
I think some will.
I'm charged up.
Oh shit, nah, I gotta go. Look, look, hold on. First of all, thank yo. I didn't even say thank you to Scuba Steve's. I appreciate you for them kind words. But now I gotta go get Taylor, man. This is the last mic I'm setting up, man, and that's we gonna end it here because
He said
ain't no way. Keon said
I'm
I'm
charged
charged
up.
up.
he said he's ready for some smoke.
Hey,
Yeah.
Keon, you are somewhat touching a good point. There are a lot of books that have been omitted. We're all aware of that. A lot of stories have taken place. The book was put together very specifically, but it's all in the words. When we say Bible, we're talking about a duality here. Whereas
Bible means book in Greek.
yes, and there's two things going on. It does emit light and it does emit dark because there are aspects of darkness in there. The word it it also has some very prophetic points in there that we should also understand. But there's a lot of history and a lot of books that were not that are not known, and that history shows a lot of these entities that exist and had that lust for power. This goes back to that aspect of power that becomes the drive of it all. So there's no limit to what can be done when these various entities, also known as archons, and how they manipulated a lot of what we know still to this day, and how they're controlling various people in power. So yeah, there are many levels to this word God, but when it comes to the one true Creator, the Heavenly Father, that's who we should really understand, recognize, and understand.
And Jesus referenced the Father so many different times. And like, if you look at the references, and by the way, I'm trying to take a shower, Keon, so don't come up here with all that stuff. Um, if you look at the references throughout the Bible, they're all the books are referencing the other books. It's like a huge. If once you put it together, it looks like a huge rainbow. Jesus references the whole Old Testament hundreds of times. So to say they're different gods is just ignorant.
Well, it's
Taylor gonna defend that no matter where she at, no matter what she doing. Boy, you better not play with Taylor when it comes to this.
well. I mean, that's not accurate because we know for a fact, right? Like I said earlier, Sacred, you said that there's a distinction between lowercase gods and the real God, right? The big G God. The point is, all of them are lowercase God, all of them, including Yahweh.
So who's our
And this
creator?
is this is you say what?
Who is the creator?
We don't know.
Oh, we will never know, huh? What about the one that claimed to be, right? In the Old Testament?
Well, I can claim to be Jesus right now.
Right. This is why I don't trust anything you say, Keon.
He just made a claim. That's it,
That's it.
right? I, I can claim I own the earth. I'm the God of the earth right now.
You don't think the creator God would be like, hey, humans, I created you guys? You think the creator God would just abandon us and never tell us who created us? No.
If I'm being honest, the creator of the universe never came down here on Earth.
Why would you
If
think
it's like
he would create an amazing Earth but never interact with it?
so, let me get this clear. So you saying the creator of this universe that we live in, 6,000 years ago, just decided to come here and walk among us. That's what you're saying.
I think the creator has been interacting with us since the first humans walked on the earth because everything looks like it's created for a purpose, not an accident. And therefore, you would expect the creator to like interact with humans if he cares about his creation.
All right, Taylor. Let me ask you this: like, do you know who these Elohim that the Bible name actually
The
are?
watchers.
Like,
Yeah, the watchers.
right, right, and you also know that Yahweh is one of them, right?
No, he condemned the watchers. He those are
No, that's
those are the angelic beings that were created by God. That's why they're called sons of God because they did not have an earthly father. They were created directly from the Lord. And like so, yeah, these watchers basically were supposed to be watching over the earth, and they left their proper abode and came down here and interacted and mingled with humans.
the fact that you're saying that Yahweh is not part of these entities. That is not true.
What's your source for
It's
that?
absolutely not true. You say what?
Where are you getting that?
From the book,
Where?
from the Bible. You want a
Yep.
verse? No, I don't have a verse,
Oh.
but I could give you a name where you can go check.
Just making claims, Keon. You just making claims. You
No,
like you own the earth, Keon. Come on now.
but hey, Taylor, you when you say Yahweh is not part of these entities, that's absolutely a lie.
From what?
Because we,
I can give you verses where Yahweh is the creator.
yes, he's claiming that, but that's not the case.
According to what?
Yeah, he's claiming
Okay,
he's the
goodbye.
God. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, flamed up. I thought you was charged up. Man, go plug back in or something, gang. Come on, bro.
The fact that she's saying that Yahweh is not part of these entities, I can't
Boy, you
go
supposed to have the advantage. She in the water. You charged up. She in the water. You supposed to have the clear advantage right now.
Keon, you gonna have to work it out and come back, bro.
You know what? Because I'm not the type, trying to convince people. So if she want to listen, she can listen. But I'm not trying to convince you or anything.
I can tell, Keon. You got no evidence for your claims, brother.
Now I know, like it doesn't matter what I say, you're gonna deny it anyway. So it's
Yeah,
like
when you
this
have no
conversation is
evidence, bro.
pointless. Taylor, let me ask you this. So which scholar have you researched that actually says that there is a distinction between Yahweh and these other gods?
When when he condemned them and when he says I am the
No, no,
creator
no.
and that you
Which
should worship
scholar?
the
Scholar.
creator versus the creation.
No, I'm talking about scholars that talk about this.
I mean, pretty much everyone. Dr. Michael Heiser for one. Who's your scholar? Right.
Mauro Bellino?
Who?
Mauro
Who
Bellino,
is that?
Italian Bible expert.
Okay, give me his quotes and what he's referencing in the Bible.
No, he's literally saying there's no distinction between Yahweh and
You
these
cannot
other
provide
three.
one lick of evidence for your claim. I can.
If you can research him up, he's gonna give you the exact lines in the Bible where you can
Bro,
read it for
I'm not
yourself.
about to listen to a Jesuit.
It's not a Jesuits.
No.
See, like this conversation is pointless. You just literally denying.
You tapping out, Keon?
No.
Stop it!
She
Boy,
literally
you the one
denying the
try,
very
yo.
thing.
You pulled her up out the bathroom, bro. She done stayed up all night at Flat Earth Friday. You was popping all that shit in your dry ass environment. Taylor over here soaping them, man. She shampooing, she brushing the teeth, she doing all this stuff. She's still cooking you, and now you talking about, it ain't worth it now. Boy, Keon, oh, pick up your ankles, man. You let me down, Keon.
Keon, you got to come with your notes prepared, kid.
Talking about pointless.
You brought it up,
All
bro.
right. So let me ask you this, Taylor. So,
You been asking questions the whole time.
He said dry ass environment.
so the distinction between Yahweh and the other Elohim is basically because Yahweh says, "I'm the boss," right? Is that correct? Because He says it.
Because he is the creator that's interacted with humans the entire time. He's condemned the watchers that were running these areas, like these different ancient civilizations, were completely destroyed. You can look at the fruits of it. I mean, where do you want to begin?
Right. I'll ask again. So the only distinction between Yahweh and this other Elohim is just because He says it that I'm different, right?
And the principalities that were ruling the nations got completely destroyed. Where is Samaria? Where are they? They got completely destroyed, bro. You can even look at the
Can
fruits
you
of it.
answer with yes or no? Can you answer with yes or
I
no?
just gave you another piece of evidence other than the word, and you have zero evidence.
So it's yes, right?
No, because you can look at the fruits of them. So like the Sumerians, right? They wrote all these things from the perspective of these watchers who taught us this information. Their civilizations are completely destroyed. So we can even look at the civilizations and see who's the boss.
So you still haven't answered the question.
What do you mean?
So I'm asking, what's the difference between Yahweh and his other Elohim?
Because in every standoff between Moses and the Pharaohs, between Elijah and the prophets of Baal, between the Babylonians and Jeremiah, every single time, even in historical record, the God of the Bible has won every single standoff. The creator, the one that claims to be the creator. Where in your writings did the Watchers even claim to be the creator?
Wait, he didn't say watchers, so he said Elohim.
That's the same thing.
So you're gonna answer the question, or you're gonna keep
Bro, I'm done
saying
with this
things that don't matter?
conversation, bro.
Keon, you ain't answering not one question, gang. She said,
No, I mean,
where did they claim to be the creators?
no. She asked a question back. I'm asking the question: what's the difference between Yahweh and his other Elohim? She ain't said none.
Bro, I've been sitting here talking to you for like 10 minutes.
So the only difference is because Yahweh says, "I'm the real God." Is that correct?
You're right about this conversation being pointless.
Yeah, because you're not being honest.
Bro, Keon, go talk to somebody else, bro.
Keon, how's she in the shower and you the one dropping the soap, gang? Oh my goodness.
Pause. No Diddy.
Yeah, you got to get your notes, kid.
Working on my truck has never been so much fun.
You gonna have to
But hey,
come back
look,
and bring notes, my dude. It's not all in your memory.
no, I mean I got it, bro. I got it. It's all in my memory. But hey, listen to this. So the
That's the only place it is, bro.
That's such a Keon thing to say.
but hey, listen. The
I love it. I
so
love it.
so my whole point is we understand who these Elohim really are. We understand that, right? These are physical beings that were here on earth. We understand that. Now, there's no difference between Yahweh and these others. No
Just
difference.
tell me where you're getting that, and then we'll continue the conversation. Because you have such baseless claims that I don't even know how to respond to them because they have no evidence.
Ma Maurobilino.
I'm not listening to a Jesuit that works at the Vatican, bruh. And
Listen,
tell me where he's getting
I
his
got
claims. What is his base of his claims?
the Old Testament.
What verse, bro? I've read the Old Testament, and it don't say that.
Okay, how about this? You go look into him, and then we can have this conversation.
Bro, his sources are probably just as bad as yours.
Listen, I can send you a screenshot with like 25 different researchers. They basically say the same thing
Then we'll talk,
as
bro. Then we'll
Maurobilino is
talk.
saying.
Keon, man, you down like 7-zip right now, man.
I'm getting my phone wet, man.
That's how you go hard for the word. Phone wet or not. I respect the effort, Keon. Go back to the drawing board, buddy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come with your sauce, Kia. That that's the only way.
Is that all you got, Keon? I mean, what else you got?
No, I mean, I understand your way of debating. So I'm just going to ask
With
questions.
evidence,
So,
bro? Yeah, you should try it.
but listen to this. So, do you agree that Yahweh is a physical being?
Okay, so Yahweh, Jesus says, before Abraham was, I
Can
am,
you
right?
answer the question?
Dude, are
Is
you
he a
gonna let,
physical being? Yes or no?
bro? Don't play with me, bro.
Tell I just want yes or no. That's it.
Hmm.
Phone's all wet. I can't even click the mic button. It's like glitching out, man. Okay, so Yahweh was Christ, right? Manifest in the flesh.
Is he a physical being or no?
Yes, in a way, he can be, right? He came here as the Son of God, died in the flesh in order to be a sacrifice for us fleshly bodies, right?
Okay, let me ask you
So
this.
right
So, you
now, is he
know,
physical? I'm not sure. Well, actually, his body resurrected, right? 500 people died to say they witnessed that. So you could say, yeah, in his
right,
glorified body,
that's not
seated
accurate
at the right hand
because,
of the Father. Okay, bro, come, like, you can't make claims without evidence, bro. I'm giving you verses, and you're giving me nothing.
all right, so Yahweh and Jesus Christ are two different entities. It's not the same. That's number one.
That's debatable. That's debatable. Okay, Jesus referred to the I am, which was Yahweh in the Old Testament, guiding human beings. Now he's seated at the right hand of the Father. It says he was there at the beginning, right? He was the one. It was basically him through all things were created, right? By him and through him all things were created. Okay, so the Word was with God. So Christ was the firstborn over all creation, the first created being who created all the heavenly hosts, the heavens and the earth, and humans. My mic won't even mute, so I guess I'll keep talking. Some people think Yahweh is the Father. I mean, so that's kind of debatable in like the biblical aspects. But yeah, man. I mean, what is your point to say that Yahweh is the watcher? Because I'll concede at any point whether Yahweh is the Father or Christ, or the Father or the Son. Okay, so either one. Like, what's your point?
Yeah, my point is Yahweh and Jesus Christ are two different entities.
Okay, like
That's the point.
just bring some like verses maybe that we could talk about because your claims that are really not based on anything but your opinion and the Jesuit, like I don't even know how to respond to them.
Right. Let me go back to the original question. Is Yahweh a physical being or no?
Whether I said yes or no, what would make the difference?
just say yes or no.
Okay, we'll go with no.
Okay. How is it not when the Elohim we know that are physical
Right. Okay,
beings?
it's a good question. So angels can masquerade as humans. Angels can manifest materially, as per multiple times in the Bible. They manifest. It says, "Be careful who you entertain, for you may be entertaining angels unaware." Right. So angels can present themselves as human. Right. They can shapeshift essentially. So
That's not the case, right? Because
based on
these
what?
entities these entities were walking on here on earth. They did not present themselves as someone else or uh, like get the looks of someone else. They were physical and they were walking here.
They were physical.
So
They left their proper abode and they made it with man. So in order to do that, they would have had to manifest materially, right? So I agree with you that they are walking around as physical beings.
right, so we agree these entities were physical.
They can become
Okay.
physical. That's not their first nature, though,
And where do you get that that's not their first nature?
because they left their proper abode and they can masquerade as man and they came into the daughters of men. So we know that they're spiritual and physical. They can basically manipulate the matter essentially to become material beings, but their inherent nature is in their heavenly abode. They're not on this physical material world. However, they can manifest materially.
And who says that?
The Bible says that.
That's not accurate.
Like, according to what?
According to the researchers.
I'm a researcher, and I'm telling you, that's what the Bible says.
Are these the said giants that mated with man?
The giants were the offspring of the Watchers. Keon, go look at Hebrews 13:2. It says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware."
See what she did there? She told you to go get the citation, right? She gave you the verse. She muted up. She knew you wasn't gonna get it, and then you open your mic and she hit you with the actual verse verbatim. Yo, Taylor, you too cold. Taylor, you too cold. Keon, give up the
So
ball, Keon. Give up the ball, Keon. Check up. Do something, bro. What are you doing?
so Taylor, let me get this straight. So we agree that these Elohim were physical. I mean, you say they're spiritual, whatever. So what would make Yahweh different from the others then if they're all physical?
Yeah, so, okay, so one thing is that he claims to be the Son of God, right? They never claimed to be the Son of God or the Creator, okay? That's one thing. Another thing is that he was actually able
No,
to
hold on,
raise
hold on,
himself from the dead, right?
hold on. Yahweh,
500
Yahweh
people
said,
died
or
who say they witnessed that. Also, some
wait,
allegations
you
say
talking about
they,
Yahweh or Jesus Christ? Who are you talking
let's
about?
just say for now they're the same thing.
No, no, they're not. They're not. Let's
Okay,
talk
just
about Yahweh.
okay. Like
Yahweh.
our premises are based on different claims, so I guess we need to like establish foundationals, right? So give me the claim for that, and then we can continue, okay? But until you bring anything, like we're kind of like shooting at dead air, because we don't have anything to go off of.
Right. So you were saying when Yahweh were talking to the Israelites, it was just actually uh,
That's what he claimed. He said,
right.
"Surely I tell you, before Abraham was, I am." And then the Jews started to stone him, right? Because they said that was blasphemous. And then he showed them up. He literally went to hell, conquered it, came back to his body in the ultimate boss move, taking over his body and raising from the dead, bro. And then they paid off the Roman
Right.
guards to say, "Oh yeah, don't tell them that these angels came and moved the tombstone away." Like they were trying to pay them off
Okay.
to silence them because they don't want people knowing that.
Okay.
Then
I
later
get it.
on in the
So
Gospel of Nicodemus, the Jews actually recognized, "Oh my gosh, we literally killed the Son of God." After all this evidence came
Right.
out, they did that, bro. So they knew what they did.
So so you were saying Yahweh, like what happened? Did he die and then he come back as Jesus Christ? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, so he died and came back as Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, Christ was here, then he died, then he came back to hundreds of people in the crowd
No,
saw him
but you were
resurrect.
saying you just said that Yahweh and Jesus Christ are the same. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
go.
how
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. So let's go. Let's start with there. I'm gonna claim Yahweh is Christ. Okay, and until you have anything to refute me, then let me know. But Jesus Christ said,
yeah, but
"No
I'm
one goes to
saying
the Father except through me." Right? He's at the right hand of the Father. Okay. So yeah.
I'm saying what happened, like Yahweh was alive, right? And allegedly Jesus Christ as well. So what happened? Did Yahweh die and came back as Jesus Christ? How did that go?
No, Jesus Christ claimed to be Yahweh from the Old Testament by saying that he was the I am. This is why they want to
Right.
kill him.
So like okay, so when he's talking about the Father in heaven, is he talking about Yahweh or someone else?
No, he's talking about El Elyon, the Most High God, the Father.
Right. So and you also know that Elyon is different from Yahweh, right?
Yeah, we could say that.
Okay. So who's God in this context? Is it Elyon, Yahweh, or Jesus Christ? Like who's the God here?
I mean, that's. I mean, people have their different opinions about that. They could say that the Father is God, right, and that Christ is the Son of God, which he claims to be.
Okay, so is Yahweh God or no? Because you just said Elyon is the God and Jesus Christ is the son of Elyon. So who's
Well,
Yahweh at this
Yahweh
point?
was also referred to as God in the Old Testament, but Jesus
Okay,
never,
so
Jesus
like
never
who's the true
explicitly
God?
said, I am God. He said he was the Son of God.
Okay, so who's the true God? Elyon or
I
Yahweh?
mean, that's. Do you think the Father or the Son is the true God? I mean, obviously, you think none of them are. You think the Watchers are, but you could
No,
say
no, no. I'm talking about Yahweh and Elyon. Who's the God? Yahweh or Elyon? Like who's the ultimate God here?
I
Yahweh
mean,
or
I guess you
Elyon?
could say the Heavenly Father, but God was kind of a term that was adopted much later for Yahweh. Like that was
Okay.
replaced.
Who's God? Who's God? Yahweh or Elyon? Which one?
Well, you have to look back at the original text first of all. You're saying who is God as if that was referenced in the Old Testament, saying like quote God, where actually it was saying Yahweh.
Okay, but you just said the Heavenly Father is Elyon, right? So is Elyon above Yahweh or Yahweh is above
Yeah, I
Elyon?
mean the Most High God, right? And then Christ claimed to be the Son of God, the firstborn over all creation. I'm not one to say Jesus is God. I think he is the Son of God, right? And the places in the Old Testament where it says God, it was actually Yahweh. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you name Elyon. That's actually correct because, like I said earlier, these entities at the pantheon, right? Yahweh uh, is the warrior god, so he's one of them. Elyon is the top god, so you can say Elyon is the god, but it's still a little g god. So it goes, it goes back to my original point, which is all these gods are actually all lowercase gods, including Yahweh.
Well, I don't tend to say that Christ is God. I think Christ is the Son of God, right? But you were claiming that Yahweh was not the creator,
You
right?
literally just said, "Is Yahweh reincarnated?" You literally just said that, right?
Was Yahweh reincarnated?
Yeah, you said Jesus, like you literally use Yahweh and Jesus Christ interchangeably
Right.
earlier. You said they're one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you saying you think is the Son.
Yeah,
You don't
Yahweh
think
was the
it's
Son of
it's
God,
God.
which was the creator, which was your original argument. You said Yahweh was not the creator.
Okay. So Taylor, who's God, Elian or Yahweh?
Well, I think that Jesus was the Son of God, but like I said, the term God, came about actually much later. So in the Old Testament, where it said that, it was actually Yahweh. You understand? So in my
Okay.
opinion, right? In my opinion, the Heavenly Father. is the Almighty God. But Christ was the Son of God.
Okay. So if we agree that the Heavenly Father is Elyon, where do you put Yahweh in there then? And Jesus Christ is the Son of Elyon. Where do you put Yahweh in
Yeah,
there?
yeah, the Son of God. Who was the, it says, in the beginning there was the Word. The Word was God and the Word was with God. And through him all things were created.
Yeah, but I tell you, I'm saying we're talking about Elyon, right? Which is the Heavenly
Yeah,
Father. So technically is above Yahweh. Is that correct?
yeah. And this is just my opinion, right? There's different Christians who think different things, okay? But I'm giving you my opinion at this point because you're diving deep into the Christian theology, right? And I'm telling you everything I know based on the Bible. But some people would say that maybe they would disagree with me. I cannot speak for all Christians. But Yahweh is the creator, right? He's not an angel, right? He created the angels. And that was your original premise, was that Yahweh was one of these watchers. And that's just not true because he was the one that created the watchers.
So Yahweh is a subordinate to Elyon, but he created Elyon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe Elyon, the Most High God in Hebrew, was the Father. That's my opinion. Christ, Yahweh, he said, I am, right? He was the I am, is the Son of God, as he claimed to be. Christ never claimed to be the Heavenly Father. He never claimed to be the Heavenly Father. He claimed to be the Son of God.
Yes. And what I'm trying to get to is, who is this God? Is he Elyon or Yahweh? That's what I'm trying to get to.
So let's just put it this way. If you think El Elyon is the Father, which I believe, you could say that's God, and that Yahweh, Christ, is the Son of God. And Christ never claimed to be God, by the way. Like, so Jesus never said, I am God. He claimed to be the Son of God.
Okay. So Elyon is the father of Yahweh,
In my
and
opinion,
Jesus.
it says El Elyon is the Most High, right? The Most High God. So I would assume that that's the Heavenly Father seated at the throne of heaven, and that Christ, as he claimed to be, is at the right hand of the Father. And I believe he bore witness to that by raising himself from the dead, because none of these other prophets, none of these other people have literally raised themselves from the dead ever. So that's a testimony to that being true. And people die, hundreds of people died to say that they witnessed this man die and raise from the dead. He literally came back to hundreds of people and appeared in crowds with holes in his hands. And that's the ultimate feat, bro. I mean, what more evidence do you need? He told us he would do it before he did too.
Yeah, I mean, we can debate about Jesus Christ because there are so many aspects that uh, that are not really true. But I won't
Okay,
go
well, give me
into,
some evidence.
like, no, no, I'm trying to talk about the gods. I'm not talking about Jesus Christ. I want to talk about Yahweh and Elyon, right?
We've been talking about that for
So you're
50 minutes,
saying,
and you still seem like you haven't
no, no,
understood one point.
no, no. I'm trying to get your perspective. So you're saying Elyon is the heavenly
Dude, for the
Father, the
10th
top.
time,
No,
you
no. Can I
understand what
can
I'm
I
saying?
finish?
Can you hear me? I know
Can
I'm
I?
in the shower,
Yeah, I can hear
but
you.
can you hear me?
Can
Because
I?
I've answered this
Yeah, can I
question
finish?
so many times now. And I'm trying to
Can I
condition
can I
my hair.
finish?
Please get to the point.
Okay. So Elyon is the heavenly Father. Yahweh is the son of Elyon. Is that correct?
For the 10th time, yes, that's my opinion, based on scripture.
Okay. Okay. Now, is Elyon and Jesus Christ the same, or is
No,
no,
they're
not
different beings.
Elyon,
Some people are
Yahweh?
Trinitarians. They believe that they are the same. Okay, so this is what I mean by my opinion. Because some people would say that Jesus is the physical form of El Elyon. And that would be easier in this case to debate you right now. But I don't believe that. I believe Jesus is the Son of God, which he claimed to be. So some Christians
Okay.
would say yes. I say no. I believe Jesus was the Son of God. I'm not a Trinitarian.
Okay. So Elyon is the top God. Yahweh is the son of this
You just
Elyon,
said that
and
like less
Jesus
than one
Christ.
minute ago, bro.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm trying to confirm
How
it.
many
So
times do you need to confirm it?
Yahweh is the son of Elian, And Jesus Christ is actually Yahweh reincarnated. Is that correct?
Not reincarnated. He's Yahweh, period. Because he claimed to be I am, which was Yahweh.
But no, that's not accurate because we know that Yahweh and Jesus Christ are two
No, they're
different
not,
entities.
bro. This is where it goes back to you need to provide evidence before we continue.
Okay, so you know that in the Old Testament, Yahweh was doing things before Jesus Christ ever
Do you
existed,
know
right? You
Jesus
know that.
claimed to be there at the beginning?
Oh my God. Hey yo, somebody else jump in because
Somebody
I
else
can't hear.
jump in. Wait, what?
You can't tap out, kid. You can't tap out, kid.
Keon, there's literally
Bro, it's
Keon.
so
You
disingenuous,
ran,
but I
yo,
gotta
Keon,
do
yo,
this.
For Taylor.
Keon, you ran out of charge.
Keon, there's
Keon,
literally another
Keon, go
space
on
right
charge.
now. There's another space right now called Laws to Live By. You have questions, I would go to that space right happening right now called Laws to Live By and get help with all these questions. But first and foremost, no one can tell you who the creator is. That is within you. All right. Either if you're ready to receive it or not. You
Well,
can't do
that's
a
not what
gotcha
some
on
people
this.
believe, though, brother. That's not what some people believe. People believe in these books. Um, so that's not exactly.
It's going to be all on Keon though, if that's what he's asking. It's all about the question though. It's not the answer. The journey is the question.
Let me ask Taylor.
Yeah.
Keon, you can answer too, but Taylor, do you believe it's possible to believe in a creator without appealing to a religion?
Yeah, I think by common sense, by studying biology, I believe in a creator.
But with no religion, what would you be appealing to? Just
I would just
creation
be
in
appealing
itself?
to, like, for example, like the DNA code, like has aspects of intelligent design that we can see, like informational hierarchy and integrated systems. We know those come from an intelligent designer, aka creator.
Right, but can I ask this to Taylor? So you know that if let's say a civilization that is
You
advanced
just
enough,
tagging
they
my co-host and
can
then
do this,
tag
right?
yourself back in. Boy, what is you don't go take yourself to the end of the bench, Keon? What is you doing, bro? You in the game?
Yeah,
You out the game? What you doing?
he's back in, son.
No, I mean, listen, because I heard her say that the genetic stuff, right? Yeah, I know this as well. Like human beings are literally GMO if we go into the DNA. But what I'm saying is, like, if you advance as a civilization, you can do this. There's no need for a God. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm sure that's what they want you to believe. That's what the whole agenda is. There's no need for God. We're just a big accident in the middle of nowhere.
I actually believe in a God, but not in any of these books.
Who's your God, Keon?
It doesn't have a name.
Okay. So you don't know your God. I'm claiming I know mine. I'm claiming I've had personal experience with my God. You don't know your God. Is that correct?
Taylor, let me ask you this.
Nah,
So,
nah.
do
Answer
you
the
agree with?
question. Is that correct, Keon?
I probably one
How are
last
you
one.
going to
So,
argue who is
do
God if you
Yo,
don't
he
even know who
don't
God
never
is?
answer those questions, bruh.
do, do you agree with me when I say if a civilization is advanced enough, they can literally create life?
How would that
You agree with that?
civilization get here to create life, Keon?
That's another problem to solve.
Oh,
But I'm
based
just
on the
saying,
theory of
if you
evolution?
what based on the theory of evolution?
You said that's not a problem. I asked how that civilization that created humans would ever be about. You said that that's not a problem. So I asked how that
No,
civilization
I'm
that
saying
genetically modified humans, in your opinion, how'd they get here?
that's what I'm saying. That's another issue. That's not the main point. The main point,
Oh,
if
that's
you
not your main
advance,
point.
if you have like an high understanding of genetics, you can literally create living
Who
beings.
would
You
who
know,
would be able to create living beings if there's nothing, Keon?
the Elohim,
How
the
did those
Elohim. That's what they
Elohim
did.
get here?
I said that's another issue.
Oh, another issue. Let's talk about it because that's your point of view. And you've been grilling me on mine.
I mean, there are different theories into
What's
this,
your
right?
theory?
So, so it could be. I don't know.
So you
I
don't
don't
know
know.
who God
But
is. You don't know how these beings got here, but you're going to sit here and tell me that my theory on God is wrong.
no, no. I'm just telling you how you asked me a question, right? So they could have go
Mad
here from
questions,
another
not just
planet.
one. Mad questions, and you ain't answer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to answer them. So they could have go here from another planet. That's number one. They could have go here from another dimension. That's number two. And yeah, for now, that's oh, they always been here on Earth.
Okay, so if they
That's
got here from
two
another planet,
possibilities.
who created life on that planet?
That's literally irrelevant to
Oh,
my point.
I think it's 100% relevant to this conversation. You're saying they're the creator, and I'm saying, well, how'd they get here?
And I say, I don't know. I gave you three
Okay,
possibilities.
all right. And they're all completely avoiding the question of how creation started. So whether they got here from another planet, another dimension, that does not explain how they got here.
That's literally that would explain how they go here. If they go here from another planet, they jump
You
on a
think they
spaceship and they go here.
evolved on another planet with no instruction or intelligent design for their DNA code?
I mean, these are valid questions, but that's another issue. What I'm talking about is in the human DNA, we have evidence that something happened, right? There are some changes in the human DNA that would indicate that somebody messed with our DNA back in the days. That is a fact. You can research it.
I agree. I
So
agree. The Watchers messed with our DNA. But who created the Watchers? That's essentially what your whole question was at the beginning was who is the creator? You're saying the Watchers were the creator. I'm saying who created the Watchers.
yeah, but that's not too
That is
relevant because we
a
have to understand.
1,000% relevant.
No, no, no. We're trying to understand who created us, right?
No,
And we're trying to
we're
understand
trying to
who
see
these
who is
Elohim
the
are.
creator.
Ooh, yeah, she caught you. You trying to move that goalpost, Keon? Bring that goalpost back right over here.
I mean, I say this right. If we do have like a universe, right? Somebody created it. I don't know what this is. What was the name? I don't know. Somebody created it for sure. It's not like it just appeared, right? But what I'm saying is these
They just appeared.
Elohim in the Bible, these
What
Elohim in the
about the
Bible,
one that claims to be the creator?
I would say is not because there are others just like him.
Okay. You have no evidence and you don't even have a premise. You don't even have a belief system. And you don't even know who God is, as your own statement is, right? That's your statement. So how are you gonna like I don't get it, bro. Just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honest. I'm not gonna say to you that my God is named like this or like that. I just say I believe in an entity or energy, whatever you want to call it, that created this whole universe. But I don't know the name.
Couldn't that
I don't know
wait, my last
what this
question.
thing is.
Couldn't that be the most high God?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Okay,
the
so it
entity
could
that
be,
created the
right?
universe is the Most High.
So this is based on your opinion now, because it absolutely could be the one who claimed to be the creator of everything. But your opinion is that that's not it, right?
That's not it because we do have the evidence to suggest that is not.
What evidence?
Okay, so I'll tell you this, right?
Zero.
So these Elohim, they had human. They were human looking, right? They just human looking, just like me and you. And they needed to eat, they needed to sleep, and stuff like that. They had human needs, and thousands of years ago, they were living among humans, right? So these are not what do you think they are, right? These are not gods. They just an advanced civilization that when they go here, we humans, imagine thousands of years ago what humanity looked like. We just looked at them as gods. It's like us going back, I don't know. Let's say we go back 2,000 years with the technology of today. They probably look at us as gods, right? Oh my God,
Think about
these
this
guys are
now.
flying, they're doing all
Where
this.
are they now? I mean, even if you like take away the Bible, just think about this. Where are they now? They are gone. They are not in. They are not ruling the nations as they were back then, right? They used
Yeah,
to
so
be, well, I mean, you could still say they're the principalities of the world running it from underground, but their civilizations and their thrones were completely destroyed. Many of them, according to the Book of Enoch, were locked up underground. So even if you think about it in this perspective, like they're not ruling in the way that they used to. Some people say they used to inhabit the pyramids and stuff, but now that's all desolate. That's all desert. So even if you think about it logically, you know that they're not really the ultimate boss.
oh yeah, I agree. In fact, there are other civilizations that are like above them, but the main point is these beings are basically another civilization. These are not gods. And actually, there was a text. It's from an Italian writer called Plinio il Vecchio. You know, at some time in Jerusalem, and this is written down. These beings, at some point, they just decided to leave humanity, right? That's what they did. But if you ask my personal opinion, I think they stay here.
Is that a
Right
Vatican?
now,
I'm
it's
just
just here.
curious. Is that based on the Vatican? And I would not say they decided to leave. I think they were forced to leave. But are you talking about a Vatican worker again?
No, it's an Italian writer, Plinio il Vecchio. I don't think it has anything to do with
What's
the
his name?
Vatican. Plinio il Vecchio.
Okay, go ahead and put that down in the chat because nobody can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll put that. But yeah, listen, my main point is, uh, I know people want to believe in, you know, in a God, but uh, this is literally like worshiping like a mortal being because we know these Elohim were mortal beings, So people are worshiping mortal beings. That's what's going on.
But I don't even think these watchers that you're referencing never even claim to be the creator. So let me just get this straight. You're going to come in here and you're going to say Yahweh is not the creator, right? You're going to tell me my creator is not real. But then whenever I press you on who the creator is, you're going to say we don't know, okay? And you're going to obfuscate from that conversation. So I just want to make that clear to
No,
everybody.
no. I mean, I'm honest because I literally don't know. I don't know who created this universe, but I don't know the name of this entity or energy. So I won't lie to you and say, "Hey, is this or that?" I don't know. So yeah, when I say I don't know, I literally don't know. But of course, there's like an energy or an entity that created this whole universe for sure. But what I'm trying to say is none of them, like this entity, is not in these books. It's not.
So you know the Watchers came down here, mated with humans, right? You know about that, right? You know about the flood that happens after the hybrids were roaming the earth, right? So what makes you think that that is the same thing as Christ, who demonstrated none of those behaviors?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Christ because, like I said earlier, there are still debates where, like, about the real nature of Christ. Some people say it never existed. Some people say yes, it did
Bro, nobody
exist,
says
but
that, bro.
uh,
Anybody who looks into this topic would never say that.
bro, I can literally give you the name of
Well,
the
that's
PhDs
a
that say it
very
didn't
ignorant
exist.
claim because he was. There's multiple Roman historians which were not Christian that wrote about his existence.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I didn't want to talk about it because it's a
You're the one that
polarizing
brought it
topic.
up, though.
No, I mean I brought up Yahweh. That's who I brought up, and yeah, I mean listen, if you say Yahweh is God, the creator of the universe, that's fine. But I'm trying to tell you the real deal. The real deal that is
You
not
have no
based on the
basis. You
evidence.
have not even a perspective on this topic.
I do. My perspective is these are physical mortal beings that came down here on earth thousands of years ago, and we humans, we looked at them as gods. That's what happened. Until this day, people are still worshiping these beings. That's what's going on.
I agreed with that though. I said yes, they came down here as flesh. But your claim was that Yahweh was not the creator. If you want to roll the tape back.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is because, first of all, like I said earlier, there's no difference between these Elohim, right? Yahweh, Milcom, Chemosh, these are other Elohim that the Bible names, right?
No.
But like you said earlier, Elion. Yes, that's correct. The Elion is
Hey,
the top.
Keon,
Is
Keon, why don't you define Elohim?
right. So Elohim is a Hebrew word, right?
They're the sons of God.
That is a plural. Sometimes
The
people
sons
look at
of
it
God.
as a singular.
The angelic beings,
Can I
beings that had
can I
no that
can
yeah,
I
they were
finish?
here from the beginning, right? And Yahweh or Christ or whatever, the unspeakable name. Some say it's Yahuwah, whatever. Okay. That is the creator of all things, the firstborn over all creation, which includes these angelic hosts.
Yeah. So it's the D3. So Elohim, for anybody listening, in the Old Testament, Elohim is a plural word, and is the word that he used to describe these you know lowercase gods in the Old Testament, and Yahweh is one of
But
them.
you have no,
Eh,
be sure to tell the people, you have
but can
no
I
basis.
finish?
You have
Or
no evidence or basis for that claim. Go ahead and add that in.
yeah, I gave you the name Mauro Bellino. You refused to check him out. But can I finish? So this is a pantheon of entities, right? And like I said, Yahweh is just one of them, and Yahweh is a warrior God. In fact, in the Old Testament, uh, he ordered the killing of
He
a lot
doesn't
of
claim
people,
to be the warrior
including
god.
kids.
But yes, he did kill off the Nephilim, which were a byproduct of the Watchers. So he did, rightfully so, kill all the giants and all these, ravaging cannibals, which were the Nephilim. But he never says, "Oh, like
Right.
the warrior god." I mean, that's just an opinion based on what happened.
I can give you the sources for that, but I would say this, right. So Yahweh, warrior God, he ordered the killing of a lot of people, including babies. He ordered the raping of a lot of
What verse says
babies
that
as
he
well.
ordered the rape of
Can I
anybody?
can I finish? Can I finish, Taylor? And then you can
You
go
need to
on.
provide sources though. You can't just spout that Yahweh ordered the raping of people whenever there's no
I
basis for that.
literally gave you the name. I literally gave you the
But
name of
you
the
don't.
expert.
Nobody even understands what you're saying with that name though. And I think you're talking about
Yeah.
a Jesuit, which works at the Vatican. But I'm asking, like,
Eh,
even if you like quote, I'm not quoting a researcher. I'm quoting the actual Bible. So you need to come with these quotes before you make these claims, bruh.
Right. Can I
Go
finish,
ahead.
Taylor? This. Okay. Like I said, this is not a benevolent God, right? Because he ordered the killing of a lot of people, including babies and all of that. And also, he's a jealous God. We know that because he said to the Israelites, if you stop worshiping me and go worshiping this other Elohim, I'm going to kill you, right? He also says that. So the main point is that Yahweh just one of them. The Bible names other Elohim like Milcom, Chemosh, and others because in the family of Abraham, Abraham had a large family, right, with the nephews and cousins and all of that, and most of them worship different gods, different Elohim, right? That is a big thing because yes, Jacob worshipped Yahweh, but other family members of Abraham worship other Elohim, right? So we know for a fact that these Elohim were multiple. And Taylor is correct when she says Elion is the top, right? That's the top of these pantheon. So that's literally the main point. These are physical beings that had human needs, like to eat, sleep, uh, you know, and other needs that we have. That's literally the main point. Those are the Elohim. And today, after 2,000 years, we're still worshiping these entities as God. I think we should know better by now.
Well, long conversation. Maga, what's up, dog?
That what you call it? You call that, man? I call that a smoke session, man. Oh no.
Kia, you gotta recharge, Kia. Maga, what's up? You had your hand up?
So, are the killing of these beans what is the flood we had, and is that part of any of this mud flood stuff that we see with the ancient buildings?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? Nobody really knows, man. I subscribe to the
No, I
Great
mean,
Flood. Do you?
What? I'm sorry, I'm working on the pickup. What was that?
I said, I subscribe to the Great Flood. Do you?
I mean, it seems like there's a lot of evidence that there was a massive amount of water washing around this planet.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know what else is interesting in this regard is in various places, particularly Egypt, but in various places in that area of the world. First of all, we see a swath of earth that just got devastated by something, right? And this is from over there in China. I think it's the Gobi Desert, all the way over to Egypt and the Sahara Desert, right?
So, hate to cut you off. In April, I spent 3 weeks in Turkey. My wife and
Mm-hmm.
I rented a car and traveled around, and we visited Derinkuyu, which is a
Mm,
underground city that was could hold 20,000 people. They say that's where the Christians hid. We were in Cappadocia. There's a bunch of old houses, but and listening to the local people, the local guy who led us on our tour through that underground city, he was saying it would have taken a minimum of 3,500 years to carve that rock. Not to mention this city that is, they say, could house 20,000 people, their animals, cisterns, air vents, 200 feet, goes, I believe, 280 feet underground, is connected by kilometers to other cities, up
yeah,
to up to 200 cities they found. Only five are open to the public, and some of these cities hold 70,000 people. And then we got to visit Ephesus, where Paul spoke to the Ephesians, and they say Saint John's house was right up the road, with conflicting history on Jesus's mother Mary having lived with him there until her death. But to see the devastation of these massive cities that are unlike anything we live in today, seem so far advanced. Uh, I've worked in the trades my whole life, and to see this, just this, all this hand carved stuff that are massive boulders, is pretty unexplainable.
yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of questions about the building techniques of the ancients, whoever they were. Um, but yeah, like you said, the devastation. And so to come to that point about Egypt is there's places where you can see and it's particularly from one angle, and that's the interesting thing. You see a blackening and melting of stone in certain places, on statues, on different buildings and temples and things like that, and they all align to a particular angle or a range of angles that are in the same direction. And so that kind of alludes to something, some kind of source of something that emanated from that direction to destroy these things, or at least, to cause some type of devastation. Is crazy, bro.
Well, even in the part of Turkey we didn't make it to, where Mount Ararat is, where they say the Ark landed, and where not Derinkuyu, but we'll Gobekli Tepe and Keren Tepe, some of these structures that they say outdate the pyramids by 3 to 5 thousand years, and that some for some reason the people of that time just decided to bury them when it looks like they were just buried in mud and stone.
Hey, are you familiar with Bright Insight?
I'm not.
Dude, check out Bright Insight. He's on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter, or
Okay.
X. He's actually doing a lot of research into that right now, because guess who's behind um, the non-excavation of those areas in Göbekli Tepe?
Oh, I'm sure you could go down the road of the WEF or the
WEF.
like those. That's
So
usually my
can
first
I just
answer. Like
can I
we could
just
go
say
to
something
like
real quick?
the council on foreign relations. I could go down the path, I guess.
What's up, Taylor?
I was just gonna say, like, I'm here at my grandparents' house, and they're like 80 years old, and they're like so sweet and quiet, and I'm over here yelling in the shower, and they're like knocking, like, "Are you okay?"
Who's Keon Taylor? Get Keon
I
out
don't
of
know
there,
what's
Taylor.
going
Get
on.
Keon out of there. uh,
By the way, D3,
What's a go on?
when you're talking about Wagwan, um, like when you're talking about the flood, right?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, at this point, we all know that it happened. At this point, there's no denying of that. Um, but when you're talking about the structures, right? For example, the pyramids and other structures that, let's say, are way too advanced for the technology we had back in the days. Uh, One thing I learned is that when we just talk about the Elohim. There's no difference between the Elohim, the Anunnaki, and the Atlanteans. The Atlantean civilization. So it's just different names that uh, let's say different people
Hmm.
gave to them across different timelines.
It
Keon, are
could
you
be.
aware that nowhere in the Sumerian tablets, which you're referencing, are the Akkadian tablets technically? It says they're from another planet. So like, I just want to know your sources that they're coming from another planet.
But
I never said that. I never said they came from another planet. I gave you three possibilities because I don't know where they come from.
yeah, and we don't know if to Keon. I don't know if we know that they're the same group. Because we don't know how far back our history goes. DNA speaking, they claim it goes back around 300,000 years in our current form. But there are other individuals who were here, right? Like we had Neanderthals, we had Denisovans, we had this other one that exists. I forgot the name of it, in East Asia, and we still see their traces in our DNA. So there were different groups here over the last few 100,000 years. Um, and we don't know who these groups were who built these structures. That we know that a lot of the stuff that's claimed to be true about who built them is actually way off. Um, like the Egyptians themselves never claimed to have built Giza. The Aztecs claim that the red-haired giants built their structures where they are. So it's like, and we have a lot of independent researchers now who go around filming and doing studies on this stuff, and they show very clearly that civilizations inherited these landmarks and built atop, you know. So I don't know who, and then you also see a different technological um, method. So you see the large scale megalithic structures like Machu Picchu and the pyramids and like Baalbek and like the founding stones and I think it's I don't know if it's the Roman Colosseum or one of the other buildings there. They're mega stones. We don't know if they were carved, right? Because we don't know the techniques. And then you have the other building technique, which is highly intricate. So the funny thing is, like the Egyptian culture, the dynastic period is highly intricate. You see hieroglyphs all over the place. You see artwork everywhere. This seems to be a different time period or a different purpose, because the pyramids themselves have none of that. And a lot of places where it seems more functional, it has none of that. But then you go over to like India and you see like the temples that are supposedly just one piece of stone, but they'll have different frequencies. For example, there's one where they have a set of pillars, and it's all supposed to be one stone. A set of pillars that when you tap them, they ring, and each one has a different musical tone in a scale. So the question is, okay, well, if it's all the same stone as it's claimed to be, well, then how are they manipulating it to the point where it chemically changes to produce different vibrational tones across each pillar? You feel me? So there's like whoever was here before, they knew some shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we do have an idea who built these structures. Because we found the remainings of these beings, right? The so-called elongated skulls, right? We know that for sure even going into the DNA, that these were not human beings.
Yeah. Anybody, Maga? You ever heard of that?
I'm drilling some holes. Sorry. One thing we know for sure is that the people that were here before and the people that came after, whether we're talking about the temples in Cambodia or Egypt or, like you said, Pumapunku, any of these places, we've seen the generations that came after them that weren't sure who built them scavenge the stones and break up the stones smaller and try to build their own stuff. So one thing
Yeah.
we know for sure is that they weren't on the same level as those folks. I
Yeah.
want to say, and I may be wrong. We were thinking we were in Thailand last year, and we were going to go over to Cambodia to Angkor Wat, and just the moat around Angkor Wat that is excavated, I want to say was 2 or 3 times the amount of material it took to build the Great Pyramid.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, something that's very interesting about that is you look at the giant square moat that's around Angkor Wat, and then you go over to Beijing and you go to the royal area there in Beijing.
I've been
It's
there.
the same thing, but me too. It's the same thing, bro.
It's exactly the same. Yeah, we homeschooled our daughter, and we took her when she was 11, about 8 years ago, to China, and we visited Beijing. Well, we landed in Beijing, and visited the Forbidden City, and then we traveled across the country and checked out the Terracotta Warriors. And they say less than 5 or 10% of that entire complex is excavated, and that they're not going to do anymore, and that some of those temples are surrounded underground by mercury. And, there's a lot of different theories on that. And then going to Thailand and seeing all the temples last year, and then going to Turkey this year. Now our daughter's in college, and so we were celebrating our 24th wedding anniversary. But
Wow,
now
congrats.
getting to travel a little bit more. And I love this stuff. And so I try to, I seen Darren Kuyu on TV, and I was like, I'm going to go check that out for sure.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And then for anybody who thinks, we're not of extraordinary means, Thailand is 33 to 1 exchange rate. Turkey is a 31 to 1 exchange rate. Ticket was $1,000 to get there. Average hotel room was $30 a night. And so it's a very doable trip for 2 people for about 5 grand. Thailand was actually a little bit cheaper than that. You get a nice room for $17. Although China exchange rate wasn't quite a bit, the money spends exactly the same, and so don't be scared to travel.
Yeah, man. Hey, Keon, those elongated skull people, man. It's a very interesting thing with the DNA that they have, and it's funny because mainstream will not pick them up to like study them.
Yeah, I think that's something that they're probably gonna start paying attention to them probably in the next few years, 5 to 10. Because they're not ready to talk about that yet. Because you're literally saying that there was another civilization other than humans on this planet. That's what they will have to say. So I understand why they're not talking about it.
Yeah, they say that the DNA that was found in them, there are certain groups of people who share. But it's very very small who share a part of their DNA. So that's also really interesting.
Is this what we
Uh,
see when is it the R negative blood that's very rare?
Rh negative is rare, but I don't think that's connected to the elongated skull people. That's I think those are I forget what they're called. Starts with a B, I think. They're in France. The highest population of those people.
yeah, it's the bus
But
country.
yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think because I've seen the video where they were talking about the DNA of these skulls. I don't think any human share the same DNA, but in terms of the blood, because there are some researchers that say that these entities were Rh negative, and the Basque country I think is like probably 90% or 80% Rh negative. Um, Not only them, but a lot of Europeans and some some tribes in South America as well.
Yeah, check out Brian Forrester on YouTube. There, he's done the DNA testing on the elongated skulls.
Isn't RH negative that bloodline that can't procreate with certain races? Or y'all talking about something different?
Nah, I'm not sure. I think they're just really rare. There might be something else to them, but I think they can procreate it with everyone, no problem. I think.
No, really, because like if you're RH negative, you can't really procreate with anyone that is not RH negative, unless they give you some medicinal stuff. I don't know how you, I can't remember how you call it, but they have to give you
Some type of
something
shot.
in order for you to be able.
I don't think they do it too much anymore, but I remember when my wife and I were getting married, they even recommended blood tests just to, I don't know exactly what for, but to make sure, there wouldn't be any problems having children.
Yeah, I think it's certain. The way it works is there's certain combinations who can't really procreate, or they shouldn't really procreate together.
It's actually all RH negatives. Like if you're a woman and you RH negative, if you wanna have a baby with someone that is not RH negative, you need to take something. Again, I can't remember what that is, but if you don't, then the baby probably gonna have some health
Right,
issues.
right. I wonder why more of the medical field that is actually, trying to help humanity, because we know a lot of it isn't. But I wonder why more of it that's actually trying to do good doesn't focus more on like the blood types for the basis of health.
Probably scared of getting canceled like everybody else. Just the just with my wife working in the medical deal and the things we went through for her not getting the shot and having to hire a lawyer and worrying about losing a 20-year career
Oh
and, uh,
wow,
and and we're nobodies, We're so I can't imagine somebody who's high up.
I'm glad you guys pulled through that, man. That's
I just wanted to say that Rh negative people, if they have a Rh positive baby, like they can have like an immune reaction to the rhesus
hmm
factor, and Rh negative has been associated with like some of these bloodlines, and in those like those elongated skulls, those were like the Nephilim, the offspring of the Watchers and the humans. They actually had many different types of hybrids too. It wasn't just the ones with the elongated skulls. They had like minotaurs and all these crazy things. Like if you look in the Egyptian pyramids, like some of those hybrids could, in my opinion, could have been real based on the Book of Enoch. Even the trees, it says all flesh was corrupted before the flood. So they were even messing with the plant DNA. If you see some of these giant tree trunks, like that's what it's referring to.
I think there was some stuff saying that the oxygen content used to be higher and everything used to grow larger.
Nah, that was an F one.
But yeah, we definitely have animals who were larger at certain points, right? Like they have they have some of those little bugs that we see that were like huge.
Right, and I mean, if we're talking about the elongated skulls, I mean, we're basically saying there was another civilization here.
Well,
Before
yeah,
the flood.
or they mingled with us at least.
Right. I mean, whether they hybrids or natural beings,
Yeah.
we agree that they were
Yep.
here, right? Yeah, and that's literally the definition of an alien, isn't it correct? Like something different from us,
uh,
you know?
Zaker, you heard that? He pulled it in, kid. Yo, Keon just proved aliens, bro.
Man, I'm over here on the calculator calculating how much money he owed Taylor for that water bill. I don't know what he talking about.
Nah, you're right though, Keon. That's I mean, pretty much. If their DNA is not basically like ours, and they're not as close to us as we think they should be to be considered human, then yeah, it would be alien.
Yeah, and the thing is, um, so there are a bunch of researchers that say, again, I said this earlier, this is literally the Atlantean civilization, and there's no difference between them and the Anunnaki and the Elohim. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if I get on board with that. But I will say one thing about the elongated skulls that I really find super interesting, and that's the depiction of Akhenaten. Do you know this guy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, him and his children are depicted as having elongated skulls there in Egypt during dynastic periods. So that's super interesting to me. Another thing is humans like to emulate people of higher standard, right? And so we have these elongated head people who seem to have held royal positions in different places in the world. And then these headdresses, for some odd reason, you can look at the headdresses for different religious groups. The headdresses always seem to be much larger for the head, like going upwards. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they are, but they are. And then you look at the depictions of Osiris and his headdress. It goes up like in a conal shape. So it's I just thought that's a really interesting thing too, being that we have elongated skulls.
Yeah, and it's not only Akhenaten, it's also other pharaohs. I think Tutankhamun as well, Nefertiti, and some others. So, I mean, you're absolutely right when you say they had you know, uh, like a royal position, because they were literally the ones, um, let's say, running civilization. I believe they're the ones that brought civilization to humans, you know, and they're also the ones that built all these structures that we have today.
That's interesting. Here's another thing, right? Akhenaten is depicted as brown skin. However, with the elongated skulls and the DNA that's been extracted, they locate them to that area in South America where they find there's a group there, and then the other group is up in the Black and Caspian Sea area, and some of them have like a darkish or strawberry blonde kind of reddish hair. And then you have the stories from the, I think it was the Aztecs, who talk about, is it Aztecs or Maya, they talk about the red-haired giants who built the structures in their area prior to their civilization. And red-haired giants are a thing in a lot of places.
Yeah, I forget the name of the cave in Nevada where there's a lot of Native American stories about burning the red-headed giants out because they were cannibals.
Yeah, yeah. It's very interesting. We don't know shit about what was going on, man. People want to act like they really know what was going on back in the ancient times, man. They don't fucking know.
Right, but another thing is, you know, we recognize these calls. We recognize that it was clearly another civilization. Um, but many of the ancient uh, people, they also depicted UFOs, right?
Yeah, I do believe
So
there was flying craft, man.
yeah, yeah. So it's funny because you know, that happened, thousands of years ago. These stone carvings that we have where they were depicting these flying machines. And still today, you have people that are doubting the existence of these machines. That's kind of
It
funny.
is. It is. I wish Leliana was here because she is familiar with the Vedic histories and that they talk about it all the time in their scriptures.
Yeah,
Vimanas.
they talk about Vimanas, and I think in some of the texts they also talk about Hashibin, you know, because um, basically in the southern part of India there was another civilization, which is the Aryan civilization, and apparently this civilization was against the Aztlan civilization, which is allegedly these elongated skulls beings, right?
Mm,
And both of them were flying and flying machines, literally.
yep. She spoke on that earlier in the session. I wonder how all that stuff operated. I wonder what they were using.
Yeah, I think this was a very productive space. We definitely ain't gonna hear the end of it. They're gonna be clipping us up till the end of the year, but it was worth it. Hopefully, we could get back to the sciences in the future. Appreciate everybody who pulled up tonight. This was a good one, y'all. Like, we take some time off every now and again to focus on IRL, but I'm glad when we do, assemble, go team. You guys are back, willing and waiting patiently for us. So that's great. If you guys have any ideas of any topics, any science, any speakers that you want to have come join us next week, definitely comment under my last post. I asked you guys what you're doing this week. So if you have any ideas for any speakers or topics that you want to get out the way, let's definitely get a jump on that. Get some speakers in here. I know you guys enjoyed when Robert Bennett came through. So we'll see like what he's looking like in the future, see how his time is running. Let's see.
I would say to debunk NASA. That could be a, a topic, like debunk their lies, and maybe talk about how the lie is going to evolve.
Why would we give credibility to something that's funded by Nazis? Not playing, I'm playing. Yeah, no, we definitely could do another NASA deep dive, Keon. A lot of people still use NASA as their main proof of globe Earth. Maybe I think we should do a deep dive into NASA or even a 101, a NASA 101 space. Yeah, let us know.
I think it would be interesting to do a dive on the primer fields videos and what it implies for the formation of matter at scale, because I think that applies to the shape of the Earth.
I wouldn't mind doing another reciprocal zini based about curvature and geodetic land surveying. I DM'd a couple of them, but it's so hard to find land surveyors on Twitter, yo. I don't know what be.
They don't be out here.
I'm telling you, none of them are from this continent. I promise you.
uh,
Are there any upcoming events, any birthdays, weddings, divorces, debates coming up that we should know about, celebrate?
yeah. Any debates? Anybody got any good debates coming up?
I'll just go ahead and highlight Wellness Wednesdays. Like I said, it's a direct reflection of what the earth is when we think about what our bodies are, how it
Okay.
works. We have to maintain that health and wellness.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure the boys probably doing their readings. Was it Mondays and Tuesdays or Tuesdays and Wednesdays or something?
Yeah, either cause, reading night. in the film. Which does some of his shows too.
Have you guys been attending any of the EtherCause stuff lately? What has been gleaned?
Oh, we're gonna get into Battle of the Beans. They lucky we wasn't on their head on our
Oh,
first day.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all got a problem on y'all hands. Let me tell you. Confirm.
Because I saw the rebuttal video for that, and he made a couple good points, but I was like, but I think there's something else going on.
If you use diffraction or refraction, it ain't gonna work. It ain't
Yeah,
gonna
we
work,
agree.
man. Bro,
I
they
was asking Sacred this. Is there a difference between light bending and light refracting? I could explain my reasoning because I'm tired of these Globers saying there's no such thing as bendy light, but it seemed like they always invoke bendy light, but then but then they also acknowledge that light bends towards a denser medium. So me and Sacred was just trying to figure out, like, yo, if you consider light bending to be different from refracting and reflecting, then does light bend? Last minute tangent.
and he trying to start a whole nother topic.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm really not.
Clearly.
We do need to put refraction to bed, though, on a large scale through the atmosphere for bringing things over a curve. Like we got to put that to bed.
Canagoo Mountains. Still ain't get a reputation for it.
Nope. Just some straw mans.
Facts.
But well, if that's the case, then we about to kick everybody else out. Y'all ain't gotta go home, but y'all gotta get the hell out of here. Make sure you
Yeah,
touch some grass.
I appreciate y'all.
No problem. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking through with us.
Yeah, made working on the truck little better.
I'm glad.
It's a little warm here in Texas today.
I know it's definitely raining here.
How many hours we gave them this week?
What's that?
How many hours we was live for?
Um, I don't know. I listened to you guys maybe total maybe a couple hours last night, and then uh, today, however long I've been on here. But I've only been on this space and Brian's space and a gardening space, so it's all pretty new to me.
We gave them 20 something hours.
I think it's like 16, 17.
They better be grateful, man.
Yeah, definitely more than 12.
Chill, bro. Damn. We ain't been around for a minute. You ain't miss a
I
game.
know, but this gonna be y'all see the clips that roll out of this.
Bro,
All
chill.
right.
Like, stop trying to act like these Glovers got anything. Like, they can't do nothing with us.
This was their deflection. This was their last chance. This was their last Hail Mary. I hope they enjoyed it. I really do.
Yeah, where were the Globies this time? We didn't have that many, huh? Or maybe I missed some.
Atting us from a distance, linking Allen's live, which is probably not even up. It's funny as hell. Matter of fact, let me go check.
Is flat. Yo, check it out. No, that the earth is flat. It's flat. It gets a ball. If you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball, you just don't. That stuff is flat. Yo, check it out.
Peace out,
No,
y'all.
that the earth is flat. It's flat. It gets a ball.
Glow buses tomorrow. No music. No music.
See, you don't see the curvature of the earth. Just saying.
That stuff is flat.
We back to the science next week. Y'all had y'all fun.
That stuff is flat.
Back to cooking y'all up.
That stuff is flat.
Yeah. I started to question things like my own beliefs and my own existence. Like, how does this work? What is the mind? There's this voice that keeps saying shit. What is the truth? What do I know? Am I the body or am I the soul? If I was to die, where would I go? Do I even matter if this is how it goes? But when I woke up, you know what I realized? I am the soul, and this body is just my vehicle. And with that awakening came so much more. Information about the system and how it works. Cause if you know the truth, you regain self-control. Not even a remote chance to get programmed or deceived no more. You start to do some research. That's researching what you think you know when you find out that the earth is actually not a spinning globe. What the fuck are you saying? You sound sort of insane. But it's true, we live on a planet flat and stationary. The truth will set you free. Won't go back to that mental celling. Now I live my life in peace, which back then couldn't do if you paid me. Realize, there's realize and realize. Don't be surprised. We'll find the truth will deep inside. When I see the sky, the sun, the moon, they seem alive. Wish I could fly, so I can see my home with no CGI.
Tactical error, crack like a mirror. Eric Dubé bringing lyrical terror. Hate speech Al-Qaeda, but my rhymes are tighter.
Yeah, Dubé!
Full of classics, masterful, plastered with factual fanfare. Banned, but I'm back to attack with a fair share of crap that I can't bear. Cause I'm a care bear. Where is the justice we need to come up in? 19.5 billion per year is what we pay them just to hear. We're spinning right round the Milky Way, waiting on the sun to die one day. But that isn't happening, that is inaccurate. Stick to the facts, not fear-mongering rocket. Masons are liars, NASA are masons. Masons that lie like they're snakes in the garden. The sun isn't dying, your soul is immortal, and so is the solace of solar return. You will ever remember in embers and flames the end of December dismemberment plan. It's a good band. By the way, watch what they say. Everything your government tells you is fake, especially anything about outer space. The only thing they could ever make I would rate is every politician's fucking head on a plate. But we're probably never gonna see that day, cause everybody's living in the rainbow way with no real man left, cause they've all turned gay.
Realize, there's realize and realize. Don't be surprised, we'll find the truth will deep inside. When I see the sky, the sun, the moon, they seem alive. Wish I could fly, so I can see my home with no CGI. Realize, there's realize and realize. Don't be surprised, we'll find the truth will deep inside. When I see the sky, the sun, the moon, they seem alive. Wish I could fly, so I can see my home with no CGI.
Triple kill.
This one, how are we having this conversation? Come back to some globe proof. Start telling the whole truth. We know what you're gonna do. Go back to your globe, dude. I'm flat smacking, I'm straight packing them with facts. Got them clues and maps to cut through like an axe. Axe murderer, next NASA astronauts astronomically while simultaneously maintaining rhythm and harmony. The Illuminati is definitely onto me, but they can't do no harm to me. It's a bit like Animal Farm, see? All a false dichotomy, while their secret society maintains privacy. So there's nothing for your eyes to see, except for their complete lack of honesty. Honestly, I'm sick of this hierarchy. Your secrets ain't safe with me. Stop the malarkey, but get your car key. MIDIHC, Brooklyn.
If you lie that to the government, they'll put you in prison. But when they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings, but you're pro-choice, abortion kills way more children. If America's so terrible and racist, it probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans. Trigger warnings used to be on TV for seizures, and now they're everywhere to protect millennials' feelings. He, she, his, him, hers, them, they. Screw a pronoun, cause everyone's a retard these days. I hear them preaching at the protest that hatred's the problem, but hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common. Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight. There's a race war here, elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country, and every one of us benefits. Give welfare to the bums and forget about the veterans. Black folks and white folks divided by the news, but we are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Cause honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
They set us up to fail, that's what they built the system for. Put an ammunition shop across the street from a liquor store. Empowering women used to be different than this before. The role models got OnlyFans or dance on a stripper pole. Screw it, I ain't tripping, I don't mean to be mean, but if our children are the future,
109 next week.
Taking Adderall to focus, hit McDonald's to eat. They're addicted to phones and they take Xanax to sleep. They blurred the lines dividing communism and democracy. In 2021, we paint the patriots as Nazis. The men playing women's sports get trophies for winning. Like, great, let's celebrate a man for beating some women. If you're black, your life matters, you're supposed to embrace it. If you're rich or you're smart, then you're probably Asian. If you're gay, then you're brave, all of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Blaming capitalism like that's the reason things are tough. While you tweet from an iPhone and sip on a Starbucks. You're supporting what you stand against, you don't think you are, but a Percocet addict don't donate money to pharma. Damn, dog, we're all afraid to speak the truth. And the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. You're ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Cause honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
We can all get
No more snowflakes.
Stop it. Everybody's wrong, that's a real problem. They don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Soon enough, we running out of options. This ain't gonna end till it's in the coffin. We ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. I don't know how we can make amends or we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
Another one.
Know how the level heads gon' keep it.
I'ma keep it G like gravity. All I see is density and buoyancy. Wake up to your new reality. The globe is fake, and it's based on a fallacy. Shout out to the flat earth haters getting flat smacked every single time they debate us.
Hi, Dirter.
Welcome to your new reality. The earth is flat, and there's no proof of gravity. Once upon a time, it was all just one big lie. Wake up to your new reality. The globe is Photoshop, you know, because it
Has to be.
really got a lot of nerve. I think I'll see Waldo before I see the curve. Still talking about gravity, Einstein? How about you show us the bending of space-time? Hey, what happened to the baseline? Dodging the question, are we? Okay, fine. Nah, man, but the globe's already been proven. Oh, my bad, I didn't realize you were that stupid. What do you mean? I studied it in college. Oh, you mean that blue pill you call knowledge? Are you ready to step out of the matrix? Or are you just too dumb and complacent for this to make sense? I'ma keep it G like gravity. All I see is density and buoyancy. All I see. Wake up to your new reality. The globe is fake and it's based on a fallacy. Shout out to the flat earth haters getting flat smacked every single time they debate us. Haters. Welcome to your new reality. The earth is flat and there's no proof of gravity. Wait, what? Oh. Oh no, I was talking about the theory of gravity. The law of gravity is still in effect.
Tell the glober to move over, there's no rovers on Mars, or the moon, or the stars. Space is fake, he's coping hard. This is fake, we came this far. This debate, yeah, this is ours. You got hate up in your heart. All the games, they fall apart. Watch me paint, yeah, this is art. I took my aim, yeah, this is war. There's no curve down on the floor, yeah, there's no globe there anymore. It's okay to share your pain, cause yeah, I've been there all before. Join the server to debate, but this is dancing with the stars. Too much food up on your plate, the flat earthers, they took your lunch. If you didn't watch the tape, then you'll get knocked out in round one. That's just what will come your way if you don't learn about debate. Yeah, I was just like you on the globe back in the day, and I thought the earth was moving till I learned that space was fake. Now I know it's not a globe, and you can't tell me about the shape. But you thinking buildings moving, that the gas is uncontained. Said you never had the proof. You should learn to feel ashamed, cause you said the curve was there, but then you hopped.
Shout out to y'all. I hit 9,400 today.
Years, I'm not expecting you to change. Yeah, I know it takes some time and you won't get it in a day. Now you at the starting line and now it's time to run your race. And the globe is in the past, the globe earthers in last days. Man, when you tell the truth, they'll throw some shade up in your face. Do not worry about the trolls, no, they can't get up in your way. Now we in the live stream, flat smacking every day. And you need to say shit. Better back up all your claims. I won't take no fallacy. God diss him if he plays. No, it's not a disc. Yeah, flat is not a shape. If I say the earth don't move, you'll get banned all out of place. Take the flat pill. Yeah, do it with some grace. Don't get mad at me. No, you can't go to space, cause it's on the TV. Yeah, outer space is fake. Now we in the live stream, flat smacking every day. And you need to say shit. Better back up all your claims. I won't take no fallacy. God diss him if he plays. No, it's not a disc. Yeah, flat is not a shape. If I say the earth don't move, you'll get banned all out of place.
Don't get bent out of place just because the earth don't move.
Don't get mad at me. No, you can't go to space, cause it's on the TV. Yeah, outer space is fake, huh? Another track.
Round 4. Going down.
He's heating up.
Lower ground 4.
Oh, look who's here.
How are you? Dr. Flores, dial 118, please. Dr. Flores, please dial. Hello.
REN. Accessible.
$17 straight.
Chemtrail clouds on sleep though. Had to rain down on sleep though. Fluoride water on sleep though. New world order on sleep though. Diabetes soda on sleep though. Yeah, clone and modified beef though. Heavy metals all in drink though. Wi-Fi cooking nigga in the sleep though. Put him in it, put him in it, put him in it, put him in it.
Yeah.
Put him in it, 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 put him in it. FEMA coffin. Yeah. I'm people watching. Yeah. Count sheet.
Sleepwalking.
All these dick riders, well, it ain't about it. Laws ain't talking about shit, but baby mamas. You don't want to stir the pot, you don't want to detox, you don't sleep though.
Wake up.
You ever heard about Skiat? You don't want a Tupac, you want love and hip hop, I don't sleep though. Cops taking cheap shots all week though. False flag headlines all week though. Chalk outline on the street though. I'm just trying to make it out in one piece though. I'm
Sleep though.
Grown politicians don't sleep though.
That's gotta stop.
I'm sleep though. Geoengineering, I'm sleep though. Diabetes soda, I'm sleep though. New world order, I'm sleep though. Clone them modified beef though. Wi-Fi cooking nigga in the sleep though. Put him in it. 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 I'm sleep though. Feds follow nigga in street clothes.
Been in the block next week.
Suck a nigga dick if people charge me though. I'm sleep
Full
though.
court press.
Bang bang and reload. Oh, set a nigga up for the kilo. I leave. Maybe young crazy no CeeLo. I'm sleep though. Deep underground ETs though.
Damn, I message when you comfortable.
Found make 28. Well, we know.
You heard?
Nigga, what you talking about? Talk is talk, and do is do shit people talk about. Nothing to argue about. What we talking about? How must I remind you I don't wear designer, no genre attire. My son so was all up inside your vagina, tampons, panty liners. Yeah, gender blur got the kids all confused. Teaching 6, 8 in preschool. Designer babies in the womb. Stars shining through the moon. But I'm sleep though. Chemtrail clouds, I'm sleep though. Fluoride water, I'm sleep though. As it rain down, I'm sleep though. Diabetes soda, I'm sleep though. New world order, I'm sleep though. On them modified beef though. Wi-Fi cooking nigga in sleep though. Put him in it. 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 Put him in it.
I come merchant, I was just scared as hell. You was driving for forever. Look at me in my eyes, said, nigga, you gonna die. The fuck? Mama, come here. Mama, come here. Hurry up. Check it out. Fuck the world, mama. Suck the dick.
Clips.
Welcome to the show.
Shout out to the squad.
If it's part of the show.
I hate this part. Here.
Welcome to the show. If you don't know,
We'll be back.
on the show. Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills?
Stationary Saturday.
For your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage.
That's all, folks.
No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars. No remedy can save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight, a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, that's it. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to episode 108. Hashtag FEFFEF.
Welcome to the show.
We back. Thank you for having us.
Intoxicated eight makes you believe
you're Steve Jason Elder.
You have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used
Playing
to
the truth. What up, my guy?
Save myself from my own self-hate.
DM, what up?
I was even made with a dreadful fate.
Man, I see you.
Plate. No one
what up, Brock?
Stay awake or educate.
Don Rev in here.
Gates, but my brother.
The Teddy got Steve.
Never be late and rockets don't work.
Who it is, what it is.
The show is on Mars, it's a joke, but you're too
Mr.
far
X.
gone, it won't be long. Fepe's beak is strong. We have our tongue and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond. And life hits the bong and sings the song, turns mankind.
I see you, Shaz.
We come in peace with a holy gown and
man,
all of
us with us
crowns. So the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along.
Justin, what up?
Go along, I said. Welcome to the show.
Someone somewhere, I see you. What up, Corey? What up, Kenny? Flurf coin to the moon. What up, Chris? Barbara Dan, Matt, Dirty Roof, Aaron, Patrick, Julian, Spiral, Meth, Dude. What up, Jeff? Easy, what up? Centric. Thankful American. Nice afro. What up, Black? November, but it's August. What up, Slink? Last man standing. Literally. Much thanks to my co-host. What up, Proud? Y'all on their head next week.
Stay
Cheap
off
down.
the weed.
We get high enough to see the curve. Oh, we see you too, Animadirter.
For all I care, Flurford can fuck off. I have no association or affiliation with him in any way, shape, or form.
The clip don't sound like boom, it sound like boom. Click, boom, boom.
Shout out to the enema herders out there, long and far.